All right, so if you're just starting out on guitar, you probably want to play some songs and some songs that sound cool. We're going to go through a lot of guitar riffs that are single notes. Because a lot of times, like when you're first starting out on guitar, playing full chords is really difficult. But there's so many cool songs out there that are just single note riffs that you can play with one finger. We'll start with a whole bunch of those, and I'll put the songs I'll put timestamps for the songs in the description, so that way you can just jump to whatever song you're interested in. And I'm going to put tabs behind me. So if anybody needs a quick review on how to read tablature, I'm just going to do that real quick. So the lines going across represent your strings on the guitar, but the really confusing thing about tablature that used to mess me up really bad, whoever invented it, to me, they made it upside down. So the bottom line on tablature represents the top string, which is totally confusing. And then the top line on tablature represents the bottom string. So to me, it seems like you should go the other way, but that's how they made it. And then the numbers are just telling you which fret you're going to be going to on the guitar. So each one of these little boxes is called a fret. That's the first fret, second fret, third fret, fourth fret, fifth fret, etc. So all of these dots on your fretboard, that the reason why they're there, they'll help you remember what the fret numbers are. So like say if you're trying to find the 9th fret or something, instead of having to go to the beginning and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you can just try to remember that, okay, this dot on my guitar is where 9 is, and then it really helps you to remember where you're going. And then a couple little guitar things as you're trying these. If you're playing any notes and you're just like not getting any sound, 99% of the time, the reason for that is you're just not pushing hard enough on the guitar. So if you're not getting a good sound, just try pushing this finger as hard as you can, and then it should clear itself up. All right, so the first one we're going to try is Seven Nation Army. So this whole song, it's all on the A string here. So we're going to be starting on 7 on the A. So we play that twice. And then we go to 10, back to 7, and then 5, 3, and then 2. So the whole thing again from the beginning: 7, 7, 10, 7, 5, 3, and then 2. When you're playing that at a real steady tempo, it's going to sound like. You can use just one finger and move that across the whole fretboard if you have to. Sorry. If you're able to, I think this will sound a little bit better. If you use your index finger on the first note and then use a different finger for the 10. So I'm using my pinky there. And then also what I try to do, I keep that 7 down the whole time, and it makes it sound smoother. If you lift it, it'll sound a little choppier, like. So anytime I'm doing 2 notes like that, I always try to leave the first one down, and it makes it sound better. And then when you're going back there, it's a little easier to get to. You don't have to like put your finger down again. So let's do this real steady, but I'll play it slow this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do that a couple times. All right, one more time fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you want to do an easy version for the second part of that song, it's just the 3rd fret 8 times on the top string, 5th fret 8 times. And then right back to. Alright, so the next song, Cake by the Ocean, I'm going to give you 2 different ways to play this, and you can do whichever one is easier for you. So the first way, we'll keep everything on the top string. Alright, so the first way we're going to do this, everything's going to be on the top string of the guitar. So we're starting with open, play that twice, and then we go to 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go 6th fret, 5th fret, and then 8th fret, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 7th fret, and then it just restarts. So we'll do this real slow, kind of in tempo. Open. Then 8th fret. 7, 6, 5. 8th fret. 7, open. Open. 7, 7, 7, 6, 5. 8, 7, open. Open. 6, 5. So the other way you can do this, instead of like moving all across the E string, you could stay in one spot around the 1st fret, but you would have to use 2 different strings. So it starts with open, another open, and then we go to 2nd fret on the A string, which is the 2nd string from the top. We do that 4 times. Then 1st fret, and then open A, and then 3rd fret on the A, and then the open top string. So most of this is now going to be on the A string, but the beginning and end are the top E string. So we'll go through that again real slow. So open on the top, open again, and then 2 on the A string, and then 3rd fret on the A string. So one more time real slow on this. Brain stew. Alright, so brain stew, this is really easy. We'll do this all single notes, and then I'll give you kind of a harder way to do it if you feel like you can handle it. So this one, it's going to be all on the top string. So we have 5th fret on the top, we do that twice. And then 3rd fret twice, and then 2nd fret, 1st fret, open, so everything's the same speed, but the last 2 notes kind of move along a little more quickly. So in time, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can do like a foot tap between everything, but the last 2 notes, there's no foot tap. So it's tap, tap, tap. So a much more difficult way to do this, but this is really good to learn if you're able to do it. Power chords, this is in a lot of songs, so it's a really good thing to practice. But if you're just starting out, this might be a little too tricky, so it's up to you. So power chords, there's always 1 fret in between the 2 notes. You're going to be playing 2 notes now instead of 1. So the 5th fret is still going to be on the top string for the first note, and then 7th fret on the A string. And then with your pick, or if you're using your thumb, you're only going to be hitting the top 2 strings. So just the strings that you're pushing down over here. These are really hard to play. So that's 5 and 7. And then you can keep that shape, and then we're just going to slide it to 3 and 5. If you take away your fingers, then you just have to like refine everything, and it's really going to slow you down. So once you get that first chord, just try to keep them touching the strings, and then all you have to do is slide. Now when you slide, you also have to keep the same shape, because if you don't maintain your shape, you might end up on like 3rd fret and 4th fret instead of 3rd and 5th. So you want to always make sure you have that 1 fret in between the 2 fingers there. So starting back at the beginning, 5 and 7, and then just slide over 2 frets, and then we go over 1 fret, it's 2 and 4, and then we have 1 and 3, and then open and 2. Now I know I said we'll do all single notes for everything. The power chords are one exception. We might, attempt some power chords here and there, but this song will sound just as good if you do it with single notes too. So for Stand By Me, I'll give you a few different ways that you can play this. The beginning part, you can do 5 on the top, 4 on the A, and then 5 on the A also, sorry. Now another way you can do that little opening part, instead of 5 on the top string, you could just do the open of the A string. So that's the 2nd string down. Either way will sound the same. So if you do it with the top string 5, or if you do it with the open A, same notes. So it's just 2 different ways of playing the same thing. And then after that, so it's all going to be on the A string, 5, 4, 2. And then we go so basically, like anytime you have this 5 on the top string, you could substitute a 0 on the A string. So you could play it like this. So this is playing the whole thing using the 5 on the top. And now here's the same exact thing, but we won't use this top 5. Anytime that comes in, we'll use the open A instead. I kind of like it with the open. I feel like it flows a little more naturally, but everybody's different. So you might like the 5, you might like the open. You can do it either way. So I think either way sounds pretty good. I'll walk you through with the opens again, really slow. So open, 4, 5, 5. Same thing, open, 4, 5. And then 5, 4, 2. 2, open, 2. 2, open, 3 on the top. So here it is one more time, but with the 5th fret. So 5 on the top, 4 on the A, 5 on the D, and then 5, 4, 2 on the A, 5 on the top, 2 on the A, and then back to 5 on the top, 3 on the top, 2 on the A, 5 on the top string, 5, 4, 5. One more time up to tempo. So I'll give you a few different ways to do this. This one is another 2-noter, so we'll see how it goes. But the first part of All of Me, the first way we're going to do it, everything's going to be on the G string and the high E string. So this one's a little trickier. We're going to have 10th fret on the G and then 8th fret on the E. Now, with your right hand, I would probably use your thumb on the G string, and then I'd probably go with your middle finger on that bottom string there. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of pushing down with my thumb and then going up with my middle finger. So I'm sort of like going 2 different directions at the same time. You know, kind of like if you're touching your fingers together. You know, you don't have to make contact with your fingers after you play the note, but that's like the idea of the move. Like both fingers are kind of moving in towards each other. So that's kind of hard to get used to, but so what we're doing there, it's 10th fret on the G, 8th fret on the E, and we play that 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then keep this 10 on the G, and then we go to 9 on the E. Same thing, 3 times, 8th fret on both of them. And then this E string note moves to the 6th fret, so then it's going to be 8th fret and 6th. So far, the whole thing, 10 and 8, 10 and 9, 8 and 8, 8 and 6. So that's one way you could play it. So the other way you could do it, just so you don't have to have like a string in between the 2 parts, you could play the whole thing on the bottom 2 strings. So it would be 6th fret on the B, 8th fret on the E. Keep the B string where it is, move the E string to 9. And then here, this is a big stretch, so some people might not be able to get this, but it's 4th fret and 8th fret there. And then 4 and 6. Alright, so Crazy Train. We're back to single notes, but this one, you know, is kind of all over the place, so it's a little tricky. I'll give you a couple of different ways that you can do this one, too. So, we'll do the main riff of Crazy Train. Alright, so this whole riff is going to be on the top 2 strings of the guitar. So, here's what it sounds like. Alright, so two different ways you can do this. So here's the first way. 2nd fret on the top string, play that twice. 4th fret on the A, back to 2 on the top. 5 on the A, 2 on the top. 4 on the A, 2 on the top. So far we got... Let's hit that part one more time. Now the next part, we go to the A string, 2nd fret, open, 4 on the top, back to the open A, 2 on the A, open A, 4 on the top, open E. So it's a lot of notes from the very beginning. So the other way you can do this, everything is exactly the same, but we're going to substitute the open A. Instead of doing the opens, it's going to be 5th fret on the top string. So it's going to look like this. So 2, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 4, 2, 2 on the A, 5, 4, 5, 2, 5, 4, open, 2. If you want to do the intro with single notes, an easy way you can do that, 2nd fret twice, 5th fret twice, open twice. And then the second time, it would go to 5th fret on the A, 7th fret on the A. So that whole intro bit, sorry. And then right into So that one's tricky. You might need to practice that one slow a lot because there's a lot of notes. It's a lot to remember, and it's kind of a hard combination there. So Smells Like Teen Spirit, we'll do it single notes first, and then maybe we'll try a little power chord way. So it's going to be starting on the 1st fret top string, and you do it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then you drop down a string and you play that twice. And then we do the same pattern, but up on the 4th fret. So 4th fret top string 3 times, and then 2 times on the A string, 4th fret. So it's 1st fret and 4th fret, and it's the same pattern on both strings. 3 times, 2 times, 3 times, 2 times. So real slow. Now, one other thing that he's throwing in the song that makes it sound really cool, but it's kind of hard to do. So we'll try it, see how it goes for you. He's doing these little muted things in between. So that adds a lot more rhythm. It gives it a little more attitude. So that's a cool part to throw in if you can. So the way he's doing that, he's very lightly touching the strings on the guitar with the left hand, and then when you strum it with your pick, you just get a click. The thing to watch out for, if you give too much pressure to these fingers, you'll have notes, so they'll turn into actual chords. So you don't want to push them hard, because then you'll have, it'll sound like a full chord. You just want it to sound like a click. The strum he's doing on that little click part, the muted part, he's just going down, up with the pick. So when you incorporate that into the riff, down, up, down, up. Now the tricky thing is, after that muted thing, it goes right into those next 2 notes. So it's like down, up, boom, boom. It's like right into that next note. And then same thing on the 4th fret part. So it's real quick, getting from part to part. So let's go over that whole thing real slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you want to go a little fancier with that, makes it a lot harder too. But if you turn these into power chords, so instead of just doing the 1st fret, we would have the 1st fret on the top still, but then we're adding the 3rd fret on the A string. And then if you're using your thumb or a pick, you're only going to be hitting whatever strings you're holding down here. So you don't want to hit any of those extra strings below it, because if you do, it's not going to sound good. So you want to like really try to avoid them, and with your pick, just hit the top 2 strings only. Then we go to the muted thing, and then the power chord for the next one, it's the same shape. 1st fret, 3rd fret, 2 times. For this, you're only hitting the A and the D string, so you're not going to hit the top string, you're not going to hit the bottom 3. Then we do the same exact pattern on the 4th fret, 3 times. So that's much harder with power chords, but we'll try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once you get it going a little faster, so this is a cool riff here. We're starting on the open string on the top. So it's open, open, 1, 2. Then you're going to keep the 2 down, and then you're going back and forth between the top string and the A string. So this hand doesn't have to move. You're just hitting 2 different strings here on the right hand. So from the beginning, we got open, open, 1, 2, open A, 2 on the E, open A, 2, and then stay on the top string, 2, 1, open, back to 2 on the A, and then back to the top string, open, open, 2, open, 1. Now another place you could play this, it'll be a little higher up, but you could do, this might be harder for some people, but you know, we can try it, see how it feels. So 9th fret on the A, 7 on the D, and then A string, 9, 8, 7, and then D string 9, back to 7 on the A. Or you could do I like the low one, I like the open one, so that's what I would probably do myself. Alright, this is a cool riff and it's pretty easy. Feel Good Inc. by the Gorillaz. So it's just on the top 2 strings there. So we're starting with the top string open. We'll do that twice. And then 2, 3. And then 3 on the A. And then 2 on the A. And then stay on the A string, open, open. Back to 3. And then 2. And then 3 open. We'll try that whole riff again. Alright, so I'll walk you through the frets again. So open, 2, 3, 3, 2, then open, 3, 2, 3, open. Iron Man. right, so we're starting on 7 on the top string, and then we go to 5 on the A string, 5 again, and then 7, 7. Now here's the only kind of tricky thing. We're doing a slide, so you're gonna play 5 on the D, and you're only picking that once, and then you're just gonna keep this pushing really hard, and then just literally slide it over to the next fret. You don't want to play it twice with your pick, like, you just want to play it once and then slide the finger over. If you're not pushing hard enough, you're not going to get the sound. It'll go, like, you'll just lose the sound completely. So if you're not hearing the note when you move it over, that just means you're not pushing hard enough on that index finger. So you do that slide 3 times. And then 5, 5, 7, 7 on the A. So that whole thing from the beginning, 7 on the top, 5 on the A, 5, 7, 7, and then the 5, 7 slide on the D string 3 times. Back to the A string, 5, 5, 7, 7. One more time, 7 on the top, 5 on the A, 5, 7, 7, slide on the D string, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5 on the A, 7. Alright, so the whole riff again. Alright, so Thunderstruck. A lot of people think it's like pull-offs, but it's he's picking every note of that, I believe. So it's the whole entire thing's going to be on the B string, and if you're using your pick, I would try to use alternate picking. So that means you're going to change the direction of your pick each time. So it would be like down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So the fret notes were going to be 4, 0, 7, 0. All right, so we do each pattern 8 times. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we just take these 2 fingers and then slide them 1 fret over. So now it's going to be 5th fret and 8th fret. We do that 8 times. So it's just those 2 parts, just 4 and 7 with the opens in between, 8 times, 5 and 8, 8 times. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this one, it goes really fast. So I would work on playing it slow and just getting your pick and these fingers to hit at the same time. If they're not real precise, you're going to get a lot of that kind of noise. So I would just, before you even worry about speed, just try to get it really slow and just super clean the whole time. Just both hands getting like in total sync with each other. Like right there, I hit a dead note. So, if that would happen to me when I was practicing, that would tell me like, okay, I need to slow down a little bit and just get it really clean. And then when you speed it up, after you've been practicing it, like getting it really clean, then it just sounds better. It sounds so much smoother and sounds like way more advanced doing it that way. So if you want to get something sounding good fast, practice it slow a lot, for sure. So for Beat It, it starts on the top string, open, and then 3rd fret on the same string, then 2nd fret on the A, and then we'll go to open G, and then D string, 2nd fret, and then 4th fret, same string, back to 2, open, open, same string, and then it's almost the same, but we just hit the open once instead of twice at the end. So same exact riff, just one time instead of twice. So one more time, same part. Open on the top string, 3rd fret, 2nd fret on the A, open G, 2nd on the D, stay on that string, 4, 2, 0, 0, and then we repeat, open on the top, 3 on the top, 2 on the A, open G, 2nd on the D, 4, 2, 0. Now one modification you could do there, instead of doing the open G, you could do 5th fret on the D string, which is the same exact note. So if we play it that way, it would be open on the top, 3, 2 on the A, 5 on the D, 2 on the D, and then 4, 2, open, open, and then back to the beginning, and then 5, 2 on the D, and then 4, 2, open. So let's try it with the first version again, but we'll try to do it steady, kind of slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. So a little faster. Do that again. All right. Alright, so for Enter Sandman, we're starting on open on the top string, then 7 on the A string, 5th fret on the D, and then top string, 6th fret, and then 5th fret. And then we just go back and hit that same 7th fret on the A string. One thing that'll make this a lot easier for you when you're playing it, if you can keep this 7th fret note on the A string just down the whole entire time, it'll make the whole thing smoother and you won't have to work as hard, because if you have to keep coming back to that note in the riff, so if you have to like keep refinding it and putting your finger down, it'll be real choppy, plus you're just wasting a lot of time refinding that note over and over again. So it takes a little bit more control keeping that finger down, but it'll make it sound a lot better and it'll make it a lot easier to play. So really slow, that whole riff. So open 7, 5, top string 6, 5, back to 7 on the A, open 7, 5, 6, 5, 7, open 7, 5, 6, 5. So we'll go real steady again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Killing in the Name Of, Rage Against the Machine. A lot of their riffs are really good to do because they're not super hard to play, but they sound really cool. With a lot of the Rage riffs, you have to tune your top string. So like if you're in regular, say if we're in regular tuning. So now my guitar's tuned in standard tuning. The top string, they usually bring it down to D. So all you have to do there, if you don't have a tuner or anything, you can just hit your D string and then your top string, and then loosen your D string, or you loosen your E string until they sound the same. And that's a really cool tuning when you're starting out, because you could do power chords with one finger, which is a lot easier than doing the two-finger power chords, and they sound really cool. So this riff, we're starting on open on the top, and then we go to the A string, 3/5, and then he does a little muted strum thing. So you just lightly touch the strings. You don't want to push them down too hard, because then you'll get a chord, but you just want to like gently touch with your left hand, and then he just does a down up strum just to get like a rhythmic kind of click happening. And then it goes 3/4 on the D string, and then 5 on the A, and then we hit the top 2 strings open, and then he does a little slide. So he's gonna hold down the top 2 strings with one finger, pick that, and then keep it pushing really hard, and then you just slide to 3. If you're not pushing really hard when you do the slide, you're going to lose your sound completely. So if you're not getting a good sound when you do the slide, just try pushing this really, really hard. And then he goes back to 2, but he doesn't slide, he just strums it again. So really slow, the whole riff, open on the top, and then 3/5 on the A, and then the 2 clicks, D string 3/4, and then 5 on the A, and then 2 opens on the top, and then we do that little slide going from 2 to 3, and then just back to 2. So let's do it steady but really slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I'll slow it down a little more because that's still kind of fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so for Uptown Funk, it's starting on 5th fret on the A, and then there's like a little pause, and then we hit that same note again, and then 5/3 on the D, and then back to the 5 on the A. So it's that whole pattern is just those 3 notes. You just have 5 on the A, 5/3 on the D. So it's 5 from the beginning. 5, 5, 5, 3, 5, 5, 3, 3, 5. 5, 5, 3, 5, 5, 3, 3, 5. So one more time from the top. I'll walk you through everything. So 5 on the A, 5 again, and then we go to the D string, 5/3, back to 5 on the A, 5/3 on the D, and then it goes 3/5 on the A, and then 5 on the A again, 5/3 on the D, 5 on the A, 5/3 on the D, and then 3/5 on the A. So it's really just those 4 notes, just 3/5 here and 3/5 there, just kind of like changing the combination. And then the high part, you're using 2 strings at the bottom, bottom 2 strings, both on 13. And then when it changes, keep the bottom one on 13, and then the B string goes to 12. Then one thing that'll make it sound a little funkier if you're able to stop the notes instead of letting them ring out. Like if you let them ring out the whole time, it's not quite as funky. Like when you cut them shorter, it makes it a little more percussive and a little more rhythmic. So after, like, anytime you have a gap, like you can either lift these fingers a little bit and that'll stop the sound, or just like rest your right hand on the strings and then that'll stop the sound. And then you could even do both. Like sometimes, like out of habit, I just kind of lift these slightly while I'm blocking with the right hand. So it's like kind of a safety there. You're doing both. Lose Yourself by Eminem. So I'll give you two ways you can play this. The first way, we're playing the open D through the whole thing. So your pick is going to be playing that, or if you're using your thumb's going to be hitting that, but you don't have to push anything down here. On the left hand, your index finger is going to go to the 2nd fret on the G, and so we're going to play the open D and that G string note 8 times together. So with my pick, I'm hitting 2 strings there, or if you're using your thumb, 2 strings. So we do that 8 times. And then this finger just slides to the 3rd fret, and then we do the same exact thing 8 times. Another way you can do that, if you're comfortable with power chords, you could also do 5 and 7 on the A and the D string. You play that 8 times. And then your pinky will just go to 8. So that stays on 5 there, so it's 5 and 8 now. And to keep it simple, I would just do all downstrokes with your pick. Down, 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 down. And then to make it a little more rhythmic, I'm kind of lifting my fingers after I strum it, just to kind of cut the note short. If you leave your fingers down, it loses a little bit of the attitude. So basically what I'm doing, as soon as I pick the note, I'm just kind of releasing the pressure, so it becomes a staccato where it's like a really short note. Oh, sorry. If you're playing it like this with the open D, you can't really mute out that open. But if you do it on the G string, it'll still give you kind of like that same effect there. All right, here's another good, just one note kind of guitar riff here. Backstreet's Back. The whole thing is on the top string, and we start with the 6th fret. So we're starting on 6th fret on the top string. So it goes 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2, 4, 1. So again, 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2, 4, 1. Six, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2, 4, 1. All right, so Living on a Prayer, it starts with open E, and then we go to 7 on the A, and then we go to 7 on the E again, on the top, and then back to 5 on the A, and then open, and then 7, 5. So when I'm going from the 7 to 7, one thing that I kind of do there, normally like when I'm playing a note, I try to play right at my fingertip. But for this, I'm playing like more on the flat part of my finger, and then I'm just kind of rolling my finger up to the E string. So it helps me to kind of get there quicker and smoother. It takes a while to get used to that, but that's something you can try when you're working on this. It'll make it sound, if it's starting to sound really choppy for you, then you could try that finger roll thing to see if that helps. But let's run through this again really slow. So open E, 7 on the A, 7 on the E, 5 on the A, and then open, 7, 5. So we'll do that a couple times. If you want to do an easy version for the next part, you could just go 3 and then 5, and then it goes right back to the main riff. 3, 5, back to the riff. If you want to go a little fancier there, you could do power chord, 3 on the A, 5 on the D, and then 5 and 7. And then if you want an easy part for the pre-chorus, so an easy part for the pre-chorus, you could do all single notes there. 3, 5, 5, 5, 7, 3, 5, 5, 5, 7. Then it does that again. 3, 5, 5, 5, 7, 5, 3, and then 5, 5, 5, 5. And then the chorus part. So it would just be open, 3, 5, and then 3 on the top, 3 on the A, 5. So open on the top, 3 on the A, 5, back to the top string, 3, A string, 3, 5, and then after that chorus part, it just goes right back to the main riff. So this is all single notes, and it's not super hard, but it's just real long. There's a lot to remember there. So it starts on the top string, open, and then open, 2, 4, and then 2 on the A, and then stay on the A string, 2, 4, 6, 4, and then 4, 6, 7, back to the top string, 5, same note again, 5, and then A string, 6, 7, and then the second time around, it starts the same way, but then it's going to change at the end. So open, 2, 4, 2, 2, 4, 6, and then 4 on the top, and then we go same note, and then 6 on the D, back to 4 on the top, and then 5 on the top, and then 6, 7 on the A string. So that whole riff. All right, no more space on the memory card.